Hello, live from Lagos, Nigeria. This is Channels Television, and you're watching Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Today, we'll be focusing on the northwestern region. But before we get into most of the news coming in from that side of the country, let's have a look at our top stories at the moment. The Federal High Court, Abuja, has struck out the suit against 119 protesters charged over the nationwide #EndBadGovernance protest. The judge ordered their immediate release from prison. The trial judge, Justice Obiora Egwatu, struck out the suit following an application by the counsel to the Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Abubakar, to take over and discontinue the suit. The Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, who was represented by the Director of Public Prosecution of the Federation, DPPF, Mohammed Abubakar, had at the proceedings announced his exercise of his power of Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution to take over the case from the Inspector General of Police. After granting the request by Justice Egwatu, the AGF proceeded to request for invocation of the same section of the Constitution to discontinue the trial of the 119 accused persons. Following no objections to the request from various lawyers representing the accused persons, Justice Egwatu granted the request and struck out the charges. Staying with our top story, as we focus on the North Central region, Kano State government officials, led by the spokesman to the governor, Mr. Sanusi Bature, have welcomed the decision of the Federal High Court, which struck out the charges against some #EndBadGovernance protesters arrested from Kano. The team were at the court in Abuja to show solidarity with the teenagers who are being moved to the presidential villa, where they will be officially handed over to the Kano State governor, Mr. Abba Yusuf. They will be moved to Kano later today for rehabilitation and subsequent handover to their families.
We are here as a delegation from the Executive Governor of Kano State, His Excellency Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf, to see for ourselves and ensure the freedom of Kano teenagers who were arrested in August this year. His Excellency has promised that he will do everything humanly possible to ensure those children are released and they are safe. And we're here with His Excellency in Abuja to receive them. But before the formal handover by the Vice President, His Excellency directed us, in company of the lawyers, to come to the courtroom and ensure the process is seamless. And alhamdulillah, we are happy that those children were discharged and acquitted by the court.
Over in Zamfara State, the state government says it is sponsoring free breast cancer and lumpectomy surgeries for 100 carefully selected women to ensure access to life-saving care for those who need it the most. The wife of Zamfara State Governor Hajia Huria Dauda Lawal disclosed this while flagging off the 5 days free breast cancer screening against cancer at the Farida General Hospital, Gusau, and walk against breast cancer in Gusau, the Zamfara State government capital.
Today, we worked together in solidarity, proclaiming that no one should face breast cancer alone. We stand united in support of those affected, honoring the strength of survivors and the memory of our lost loved ones. As we take these steps, I am proud to announce that my office, with the support of my dear husband, His Excellency Governor Dauda Lawal, has sponsored free breast screening and lumpectomy surgeries for 100 carefully selected women, ensuring access to life-saving care for those who need it the most.
Still talking healthcare, the Nigerian Medical Association Jigawa State chapter has voiced deep concerns over the rising prevalence of kidney disease in Hadija local government area. According to the chairman of the association, 13 out of every 100 people in the area are affected by kidney disease. Our correspondent Sadiq Ilyasu reports.
Doctors from all 27 local government areas of Jigawa State gathered in Hadija as part of the Nigerian Medical Association Week, taking a united stand against kidney disease. The event marked the start of a focused campaign on kidney health, a response to the growing number of cases in the ancient city of Hadija.
Of having this event is because there are a lot of prevalence in the chronic kidney disease along the Hadija Zakirai Valley which we are always seeing in our hospitals. And we thought of coming to Hadejia to base here for 3 days in order to invite researchers so that we understand what is going on. And we are also going to do a health walk in Hadejia.
Dr. Zainab Umar, a family physician, noted an alarming increase in kidney disease cases among patients from Hadejia and surrounding communities.
That means for every 100 people, you get like 13 people that have kidney diseases. And then in Kano, our experience was one of the major reasons why I joined this foundation is because we've seen a lot of people coming with kidney diseases, and the majority of them are coming from Hadejia. And we realized that they usually come at that end stage, that is those that need even dialysis or some even renal transplant. So that really stimulated us to see that we need to enlighten our populace to know why are they having kidney diseases. And we realized that based on the studies that have been done, it has been shown that diabetes, hypertension, obesity, sickle cell disease are the commonest causes of kidney diseases, especially in Hadejia.
The state government, recognizing the gravity of the situation, has announced plans to establish dialysis centers across the 5 emirate councils to support affected individuals.
Trying to establish dialysis centers in almost 5 emirates of Jigawa state, and the fact that the dialysis will be free of charge for all patients in Jigawa state. And in addition to that, the government is also going to give free care to any patient with hypertension, diabetics, or sickle cell disease.
In a separate event held in collaboration with the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and other partners, the state government also addressed concerns over community attitudes toward the polio vaccine.
We are still having some resistance, especially from elites, the elites in housing estates, especially in Dusa local government area. I can mention the people in Jigawa's other ward, especially Takuru site, Godia Mieti, the Damasara quarters, and even the Patra quarters. The elites are still at least at the back burner because they felt that we have already eradicated polio. There is no wild polio circulating. That's the thing that they advanced. They didn't know that there is a vaccine-wide polio virus also circulating.
The Jigawa state government remains determined to improve healthcare services, addressing urgent issues like kidney disease and vaccine awareness to safeguard the well-being of its citizens. Sadiq Ilyasu, Channels Television News.
To ease transportation across the country, the federal government has kicked off an extensive road repair campaign, Operation Connect Your Destination. FEMA Managing Director unveiled this initiative at the official flag-off event in Kano State. Our correspondent, Sadiq Ilyasu, crossed the border to Kano State to bring us this report.
Can you see what Andy is doing? He's spraying.
The Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FAMA, has launched Operation Connect Your Destination in Kano State, an initiative set to boost transportation infrastructure nationwide and enhance road safety ahead of the busy Christmas season. Roads in Nigeria are characterized by many potholes, and this is one of the challenges faced by commuters across the country. However, the Federal Road Maintenance Agency is here in Kano State to flag off the covering up of over 18,000 potholes across the country. To minimize traffic disruptions, alternative routes will be designated throughout the project, which is slated for completion by mid-December.
Our FRMs have been tasked to employ all the necessary techniques that are required to ensure that there will be no accident during their operation, to ensure that their operations on the field do not cause unnecessary traffic holdup.
This initiative will not only patch over 18,800 potholes, but also create 12,000 jobs, delivering both economic impact and road safety improvements.
We have set targets. At the completion of this program, it is expected that about 18,850 meters squared of potholes will be patched. Over 12,000 area of field sections will be recovered. 2,700 meters squared of overlay will be done, and 653 kilometers of roads will be made motorable. And more importantly, over 12,000 jobs will be created, which will have a huge impact on unemployed in the economy.
Operation Connect Your Destination symbolizes commitment to making Nigeria's roadways safer, smoother, and more accessible for all, especially as the holidays approach. Sadiq Ilyasu, Channels Television News.
Governor Ubasani of Kaduna State and the Sultan of Sokoto have called for collective action, viable strategies, and resilience to combat the challenges of climate change-induced conflicts in northern Nigeria, which they note have led to population displacements, food insecurity, and worsened poverty. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the Regional Conference on Climate Change-Induced Conflicts in northern Nigeria held in Kaduna State, Governor Sani notes that climate change-induced conflict is not an abstract concept, but a reality that the North must confront with urgency and determination.
The Regional Conference on Climate Change-Induced Conflicts in Northern Nigeria unites national stakeholders to address climate-related conflicts in the North and develop mitigation strategies. Attendees include Governor Ubasani, Kebbi's Deputy Governor, former SGF Yayali Ahmed, the Sultan of Sokoto, CAN President Daniel Oko, and security representatives. Yayali Ahmed opened the session stressing the need to address the climate conflict link.
Allah created man and surrounded him with everything that is required. Combating these things to our advantage means that we will live in a very, very responsible and satisfying way.
Recognizing the link between climate change and conflict, the Sultan of Sokoto and the CAN president highlight the importance of collective action, especially among religious leaders and their followers.
This gathering is important not just because we want to talk about climate change, but we also link the climate change to insecurity, to poverty, to so many negative and evil things, like the drug abuse by our youth in our communities. And I think it's very important. Coming together as one family to discuss issues, I think it's very important and apt.
As leaders, we must advocate for sustainable practices that protect our environment and promote the well-being of our communities. In this divine assignment, religious leaders must give moral leadership and guide our people, including political leaders, to do the will of God.
Opening the conference, Governor Ubasani stressed the urgent need for collective action against climate-related conflicts, urging northern leaders to invest in resilience through sustainable agriculture and improve disaster preparedness.
The starting point towards rising community understanding of resilience to hazard and conflict is to initiate participatory consultations at the grassroots level. Additionally, we must make concerted efforts to address the root causes of conflicts. We can come up with peace-building initiatives. This includes fostering dialogues among communities affected by climate change, encouraging collaboration over competition, and ensuring that voices of the poor, vulnerable, and underserved are heard and their needs are prioritized.
Stakeholders affirmed that regional conferences on climate-driven conflicts are crucial for resilience and peace, emphasizing the importance of understanding the climate conflict link and fostering regional cooperation to tackle root causes.
You're watching Newsroom series on Channels Television. Still ahead, we'll bring you the effect female students are having on climate change in Kebbi State. Stay with us. Welcome back. In an effort to raise climate change awareness and instill environmental responsibility among young girls, the Kebbi State government has introduced a 1,000 tree planting and skill acquisition initiative across 10 girls' schools. The project tagged Urgent Call to Climate Action is led by the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Employment and targets educational institutions in Gwandu, Kalgo, Jega, Ayero, Bunza, and Birnin Kebbi local government areas.
Adolescent girls are generally faced with challenges that prevent them from access and completing secondary education due to socio-cultural and financial constraints and infrastructural deficits. This is compounded by environmental issues such as effects of climate change. The Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment is seeking to create better awareness through the Climate Action Initiative in girls' schools. It seeks to empower schoolgirls with skills to tackle environmental and social challenges, while also improving educational infrastructure to foster a supportive learning atmosphere.
Now we have 48 schools under construction, and we have 45 that are coming very soon. And under rehabilitation, I think we have rehabilitated almost, let's say, 290 something schools.
Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Women Affairs, Suwaiba Salihu, urges students to embrace climate knowledge in their everyday lives, stressing the long-term advantages of sustainable practices.
After getting these trees, they should make sure we utilize them, as the World Bank is spending a lot to make sure that we are hygienic in the school and we benefit from them.
Meanwhile, Agile Project Gender Technical Assistance, Dr. Nafisa Zaki, highlights the economic and environmental value of green initiatives, encouraging the girls to explore entrepreneurship by transforming waste into resources.
For instance, we are creating eco clubs, that is environmental clubs in our schools, and also give them the capacity of waste to wealth management activities, like using used clothes, old clothes, or rags from tailoring centers, like from sewing activities that have taken place, for them to produce other materials they can produce, or products that can be used either for monetary gain or for personal use or for decoration in households and other places.
To promote continued environmental stewardship, organizers put together a competition with awards from Agile Kebbi State to schools that best nurture and maintain their planted trees.
As part of activities to mark the 2024 Physician Week with the theme Ensuring Universal Applicability in Remuneration, Panacea to Talent Retention in the Healthcare System, the Nigerian Medical Association Kano State Chapter has carried out a free medical outreach to Bichi local government area where thousands of patients are being attended to at the Bichi General Hospital with free medications worth millions of naira and performing some surgical procedures at the Bichi Specialist General Hospital. Channel's correspondent Nanchin Vincent, who witnessed the outreach, noted that the doctors were not leaving any stone unturned to ensure everyone who came in is attended to, as the people also heave a sigh of relief to having free medical access.
It is a lineup of the activities to mark this year's Physician Week, as Nigerian Medical Association Kano State Branch was in Bichi General Hospital in one of the communities in Bichi local government area of Kano State, giving free consultation services to over 5,000 patients. Services rendered include different categories of free surgeries, dental procedures, circumcision, amongst others. Abdurrahman Ali, the chairman of the association, is happy with the exercise as giving back to the community is pertinent, especially in the face of the present socio-economic hardship.
We are here to give back to the community, the people that we have been serving. We are here to see the good people of Bichi local government, consult them, see them, give them free drugs worth millions of naira, perform some surgeries, 100 cataract surgeries, some minor general surgeries procedure, and then about 200 to 300 circumcision. We intend to see like 5,000 to 6,000 patients this day.
He calls on stakeholders, particularly politicians, to engage in sponsoring events like this, which affects the people directly.
I want to encourage other House of Representatives other people influential in our society to be organizing these kind of things. So you can see there is a large contingent, large number of healthcare workers coming here. We pull them from different facilities, doctors, consultant doctors, nurses, peri-operative nurses, and then some other people from the lab also helping us. Brain drain affects virtually all sector of the health care program, but at least we are able to pull people so that we can come and give back to the society that we are serving.
Community leaders also came in to inspect the activities, as the zonal medical director of the hospital, Idris Garba, notes that the hospital is prepared to continue taking care of those in surgery for quick recovery.
Our staff on ground, so they will continue managing the patient in our various wards. But the outreach is for today. But the management of the patients after the surgery will take care of them, because we have staff on ground that will manage them after the surgery.
Patients are grateful for this intervention.
I came here and I have been attended to. May God bless them all.
These doctors have really tried. I already feel well with the free treatment.
The Nigerian Medical Association Doctors Kano branch are also calling on the Kano State government to fulfill the agreement signed for the implementation of the revised hazard allowances for better working conditions. From Kano Commercial City, Nanchen Vincent, Channels Television News.
The Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation has pledged to give all the necessary supports to the circular economy to attract GDP increase and more trade balance. The minister in charge, Mohammed Idris, disclosed this at the inauguration of the Task Force Committee of the National Association of Scrap and Waste Dealers Employees of Nigeria in Katsina State. Mr. Idris, who was represented by a special assistant on research and strategy, says the circular economy is an important sector in the renewed hope agenda of the federal government, which he says contributes its own quota to Nigeria's economy.
Worried about the infiltration of bad elements into the business of scrap metal and waste materials, the leadership of the National Association of Scrap and Waste Dealers Employees of Nigeria has inaugurated a task force committee in Katsina State to complement the efforts of government towards curtailing vandalism. The essence is to sanitize the business and control the activities of members.
There is a lot of vandalism in the nation, and accusing fingers is pointing on our members to show the world that we are not vandals, we are not criminals, we are not thieves, we are doing our legal businesses. That is why we inaugurated this task force committee to complement with the government efforts to curtail vandalism in the nation. This is the focus of this inauguration of Task Force Committee.
On its part, the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation gives assurances of the government's readiness to support the secular economy in recognition of its importance to the nation's economic growth.
Under the leadership of the Honorable Minister of Environment, Alhaji Balarabe Abbas, they developed the Nigerian Circular Economy Roadmap, which also encompasses what is happening there. The circular economy is an important sector in the Renew Hope administration, and the Renew Hope administration is fully in support of all the activities and is ready to continue to give them all the support they needed.
In a related development, the Katsina State government reiterates that it's ready to support scrap metal and waste material businesses.
The House should call on the executive arm of government to call on the dealers of this waste craft to know their people. If I said to know their people, so that the government want them to open their eyes and remove the bad elements among them.
Members are optimistic that the inauguration of the committee will go a long way towards eliminating criminal elements and bring sanity into a business that creates a lot of job opportunities.
And that's it on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwo. Thank you.